Hello, good morning, and welcome to the TRA's live session about back to school and the back to school session. Here at the TRA, we'd like to give parents and people who take care of their kids or your brothers and sisters a little bit of advice on how to monitor your kids' usage and set a certain amount of time for them to use their online games or their phones. Because here we care about the whole picture and not just the Telecom Regulatory Authority, but we care about the whole community as a whole. So, one of the things that come up to us a lot is, what can we do to protect our children online? Well, one of the first things that we would recommend is set a strict amount of time for them to use these kind of devices. You do not want them to get addicted to using their phones, especially at a young age. Instead, we want them to be using their books and using technology in a way that will benefit them. So one of the first things that we would suggest is set a strict amount of time. That can be set by you, whether it's 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever you see fit. Here we really recommend to be very strict with it and not let them set the time themselves. You should be the one that sets the time for them. And one of the other things that we would highly recommend is, if they're going to be playing video games, is to ensure that the game that they are playing is for their correct age group. You do not want to be giving them a game that's rated for 18 plus to a child that's 12, as that could be influencing them or introducing them to things that they might not may not be fit for their age group. So please maintain and use the age grouping provided by the video game companies as a guide for you to know what kind of game that is. And before buying them any form of game, just read about it. Ensure that the game fits what you want to teach your kid or what you would like your child to play. And when it comes to online gaming, while online gaming can be very fun and can be a really full, enriching experience, we would recommend keeping an eye on what kind of people your child may interact with in the online world, as these people might come in from all different age groups and can be from all over the world. So it's highly recommended for games such as Fortnite or any kind of game that would require a lot of communication between the teammates, is that you monitor that communication is strictly about the game and there is no person probing around about your child's personal information, as that is one of the number one ways that as a person who might want to influence the child or gain access to a child's information would go for. They might start off speaking about the game and then they might start probing about other personal aspects that have nothing to do with the game. So we would highly recommend that you monitor what kind of people your child interacts with. And that does not only go for online gaming. If your child is under the age of 12, we'd advise that you monitor your child's chatting habits. Who does he chat, who he or she may chat with online, and especially with the group of friends, as the games such as the Blue Whale that have children do dares are all not based on a mobile app called the Blue Whale, but actually based on a community or based on like a group, but that could be over WhatsApp or other type of social medias. So we would recommend that you monitor that. And another way of ensuring your child's safety is have an open dialogue with them. Speak to them about these kind of things. Let them know that they are allowed to speak to you about anything, and do not attempt to scare them. Do not attempt to raise punishments for these things. Instead, ensure that there's an open dialogue so you are aware of what goes around in your child's life, whether it's about their online activities, online games, and also about whatever may be happening at school. And to try to kick off the internet addiction, we would highly recommend that enroll your kid in some extracurricular activities, whether that's provided by the school or there's multiple other different platforms and youth hubs that your child may interact with. Here there's an abundance of a lot of extracurricular activities that your child can take part of. So if you do not want your child to be fully dependent on their mobile device or on their gaming console, enroll them in such activities, as that can open opportunities for them to fully ensure that they're busy with their time and other kind of things. And when it comes to online homework and online resources, make sure that you are the person that picks the content for your child. Research what kind of things that they might need and provide it for them, as if they're probing around the internet trying to find some kind of educational information. It can be easy for them to go as sidetrack and procrastinate and start playing video games and stuff. So if you are worried about that, make sure that you're the person that picks the content for them. And when it comes to other form of activities that your child may take part in, be sure that you play an active role, as you know that there's multiple ways that a child may be influenced, whether it's through the Twitter and news applications and other form of things that might not be coming from official news sources. Make sure that you have an open discussion with your child about what kind of sources they should be trusting, because anyone can write a tweet and have it seem like it's coming from an official newspaper or an official website, and that could lead them into believing and spreading news that may not be accurate. So ensure that whatever information your child receives comes from vetted information sources and newscasts. So inform them about the credibility of online websites. Let them know that anyone can easily start a website and spread some kind of false information, and it's your job as a parent to ensure that your child is receiving accurate information. And if they're going to be using these kind of social apps to monitor their usage, ensure that they are not exposing themselves too much, not posting too much of their personal information, as once it's on the internet, it's very hard for you to scrape it off. So it's very important for you to play a pivotal role when it comes to these kind of information. And there are a lot of different tactics that you might want to do. There is the open dialogue that we have mentioned, and there are some monitoring applications that you might have to install in your network. But we as a TRA, we would prefer that you have an open dialogue with your children about these type of things. And that might be it for our basic back to school program, but there's a lot of things that you can do. So we would highly recommend that you reach out to us, and we will try to inform you of other ways that you might benefit your child when it comes to monitoring them. And also look up online resources. Be sure that you are the person that takes the decision and not your child when it comes to these kind of things. Thank you so much for tuning in to this very short session, and we hope that you enjoyed it. And if you have any kind of information, please reach out to us at the UAE TRA and other form and our hotline 811. Thank you so much.